You're lucky to have come out of it so well, aren't you? Because people can have non-malignant tumours that can cause them... They take the tumour out and then they're left very badly damaged.
Yeah, I have been incredibly lucky and I think...
Fortunate, we should say, not lucky. You can't be lucky having it.
Yeah, it would be a peculiar definition of luck to have had a tumour the size of 2 golf balls.
I think it's a testament to the people that have worked with me and helped me get through this rehabilitation period, you know, where the people at Christie's in Manchester, where I went for most of my treatment, have been absolutely incredible.
Did you have any doubt about whether to have the operation? I mean, did you...
I didn't have... No. Well, I had to have the operation or I would have gone blind.
Right.
That would have been the first thing, would it have gone blind? That would have been the first
thing. I would have gone blind because it was pushing my optic nerve so far and stretching it so much that the vision in my left eye had almost completely gone. In fact, my left eye's not so great at the moment.
Yes.
And when they take it out, is there a gap the size of 2 golf balls?
I think there always was, actually.
Can you shake your head and there's like a rattling noise or something?
So, have you got a microphone? We should check that.
It's like a pee and a whistle or something. Can you do that? Like the whole brain keeps swishing around.
That's a very good question.
It's a genuinely meant, actually. It's a question. Well, do you expand? Does the brain expand to fill it?
When they did the operation, I think they had to put some packing in there to keep things in place.
What, styrofoam beads? What
It's an extraordinary story, yours, isn't it? I mean, this is just another sort of remarkable chapter in it, really. When you think about it. Sort of, we were working in a factory in Salford, and then we did the clubs and that sort of thing. And then we discovered, basically, by Manchester United Football Club, in a sense. I mean, explain that. You were singing at Old Trafford?
Well, I'd been doing that. I trod the boards for about 10 years in the clubs. So that was effectively where I did my apprenticeship. I had many great times there, but I have to say, I was glad to leave there. And when I got the invite to go and perform at Old Trafford, it was in 1999 at the last game of the season at Old Trafford. It was the season United won the treble, which of course I'm sure you're fully aware of.
That, weren't we? Yeah.
And I sang Nessun Dorma there, and it was just one of the most remarkable days of my life. And then, as a result of that, I was invited by the club secretary to go and sing and represent Manchester United at the Nou Camp Stadium in Barcelona at the Champions League final, which was a real highlight because I was sat with the 68 winning side on the second tier, Paddy Crerand on one side, Bestie on another, and my dad, you know, next to me.
Made up.
Just an incredible day. And then, as a result of that, I was invited to various different sporting events, and then the record company... You know,
tell us how you got the record deal. Oh. I like that story.
I went in with a guy called Rick Blasky, and before I went in, I remember him saying to me, "Look, don't expect too much. Artists aren't getting signed at the moment. When you do go in, just be yourself, and you'll be fine. But it's probably, you know, we're probably going to be chatting for 3 or 4 months, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get offered a deal." And I had other ideas. So when we walked in, I remember there was a few big names there. The guy that was responsible for signing Luciano Pavarotti to Decca, another chap who'd signed Bocelli, and so there was a lot of history there, Decca history, and I just walked in and was just... I remember, I think it was Costa, one of the head guys there, and he said to me, "Russell, have you brought a CD with you?" I said, "No." "Have you brought a DVD with you?" I said, Have you brought anything that we can listen to?" I said, "No." I said, "But, you know, I've got my voice, so if you'd like, I can sing something for you." And he was like, "Seriously?" I went, "Yeah, sure." And I got up on the boardroom table and I did a little rendition of O Sole Mio. And as I was singing, I could see that their jaws beginning to gradually drop, because you don't get a full... You can't get a full feel for the strength of a voice unless you hear it in the flesh.
Yes, of course.
And close up. Yeah. And, and then I just spent the whole afternoon joking and laughing and talking about football, and left the offices, and within an hour I had a 5-album deal.
And the rest is history. Yeah. Do O Sole Mio.
O Sole Mio?
Yeah.
OK.
Impress us like you impressed Decca. See which sign you want.
Fronte a te, o sole,
They gave me the contract because they were going deaf. Get that man out of here!
It's amazing being that up close, you say, to that kind of voice. For an invalid, that was all right, I thought.
Thank you very much indeed.
What about the... I mean, then, of course, basically, I mean, what you did, you more or less kind of started the entire business of classical crossover, as it became called.
Yeah.
And you've been the bestseller of that ever since. There's a lot of criticism involved, isn't there? In a lot of kind of... it's very weird, the kind of criticism. There's like a dispute about whether you should be doing this kind of music or not, because you're not a properly trained opera singer.
But the thing is, Michael, I think I got to a certain stage in my life and my career where I really got to a point where I just didn't give a damn what anybody was writing about me. And I did it for the love of the music, yeah. And I did it out of enjoyment. And what I was getting back from the people who came to my concerts way outweighed anything that some guy in a, you know, at a radio station was saying about me. It way surpassed that.
Does crossover work both ways? I mean, because there are opera singers who've been trained like you weren't, who then come and do more popular stuff, and it never quite sounds right.
That's the interesting
What's that
aspect
about?
of it.
It's true, isn't it?
They could do the Great American Songbook like he's done on the album. Yeah. They just couldn't because the voice is too structured. Is
that what it is?
Yes, it's a different kind of voice altogether, a different kind of singing.
So how can you go the other way?
How did you know?
But I take it this is the point, that you don't want to sing at Covent Garden, do you?
No, not particularly. I mean, I'd love to. Oh, I'd love to perform at Covent Garden, but not necessarily in an operatic production.
No.
I enjoy
just out in the street because big crowds there. Yeah.
But the point is, I mean, if
you need a microphone,
you can really belt it out. They can hear you.
If we say the Great American Songbook deserves preserving, well, so does the popular music of 400, 500 years ago, which is what opera is. It's only popular music. I mean, it's not this thing to put in a showcase and put guards around it at all. That's the silliness of it, in my view. I mean, it wasn't sung by people like you. They were the first people who sang it.
Well, you'd hope that they, you know, that they... By the way, I've had a lot of coaching. I mean, I may not have been to the schools and the colleges and so on, but I've worked very, very hard, particularly in the last 3 or 4 years on my technique.
You have?
Absolutely, yeah. You have to. It's about longevity. I also had talking about problems, I had a major vocal problem about 3 years ago when I developed lumps on my vocal cord. And I had to have them surgically removed. And since then, I've worked very, very hard with a guy called Patrick McGuigan on getting my voice right and you know, just training it up to how I want it so that problems don't occur in the future.
Russell Watson, thank you very much indeed. Russell Watson. My thanks to Russell Watson, to David Dimbleby and Dara Reen, and from all of us here, it's a very good night. Good night.